absurd.
No.
Especially as before that, if you remember, he quickly shoulder peeked Tetris, and then he assumed it was clear. That was pure reaction speed.
Jesus. Well, Vince, ENCE get the bomb down. They don't have to force buy anymore. They finally have the lost bonus to eke out a solid buy. But G2 with a 3-round lead. I don't care about all these Mirage naysayers, man. This map delivers.
It is most certainly delivered this time around, that's for sure. Let's be honest, this entire series has. The first map may have been a bit of a blowout, but there were some crazy moments on that one as well. And now Hunter looking to try and connect with a couple kills, but Connector has now been bypassed. Jack's a different angle. Haven't really seen the CTs occupy ramp this aggressively so far.
What?
And Jax spins in for 2, and now Spinx can clean up the rest onto Jax. They have dealt with the A contingent though, ENCE, but it's Spinx against the world.
m0NESY crosshairs trained in the direction of Spinx, and he doesn't have anything to cross with. There we go. No smokes, no flashes, nothing. And m0NESY, he doesn't miss those. And G2, they continue to put in the nails in the potential coffin here for ENCE. What a hole from Jax. Everyone is falling apart outside of him. Sure, Hades was low, sure, Snappy was low, but still incredible control from Jax with an A1. As ENCE, they're going to be going for a bit of a... I thought it was going to be a half-buy, but no, they're going all in again. Vince, they've just been forced buying non-stop for the past 5 rounds. Again, the pistols come out. At least it's time to have a MAC-10 and a Galil, a couple of MAC-10s and a Galil in the hands of Madden. And look at Hunter just pushing into his apartments, finds Spinx, and G2, they have come alive. And they can smell it, Vince. They can smell that legend stage.
Someone needs to get off and get Dihar a chiropractor after this performance. The man's back must be aching. He's been doing so much lifting. He needs someone to help carry the burden. If ENCE are going to have a second wind, someone else has got to step up to the plate. In terms of this round, losing Spinx so early on ravages their chances, but they have Madden with a Galil. Additionally, 2 players up middle, 2 in the B apps. B site, 2 defenders only. One of which is Hunter, however. Now the 2 of them are going to push in. That flash is good, but Alexi's barely affected by it, which is all for the best because Hunter was completely blinded. Now smokes and mollies being exchanged. Out into the open, they'll filter in, but Dihar into a hail of bullets as he's vanquished by Hunter. And although there is a counter frag, it shouldn't be going the way of ENCE. 35 seconds and Hades with now an A1S to his side. This would be a huge moment for him to step up, but m0NESY will swat him away. ENCE will have a buy coming up, but G2 are 2 rounds away from the legend stage.
The amount of clutches won here by G2 has been absolutely insane. And like 3 clutches won, 2 by Alexi. I'm going to remember that 1v2 over there on the A bomb side for quite a while, Vince. But even then, the number of rounds, it comes down to this 2v2s, 3v2s, and somehow they cling on. And it's coming down to the individuals. It's coming down to the sheer depth of firepower that this team possesses. And even Alexi B stepping up to the plate. You're looking at this team, you're like, sure, Jackson pop off. You have Nico, Hunter, m0NESY, and Alexi B as the individual delivering as well. And for ENCE, it seems like they've thrown almost everything they have, including the kitchen sink at G2. And somehow G2, they did not budge. Right now, 14-9, G2 2 rounds away from locking in that position, Vince. It means so much to this team. It means so much to everyone in the server right now. And for ENCE, it's almost like they've hit a wall at the moment.
Oh, they've hit a wall, all right. And that wall is Alexi B. These last 5 or so rounds, this man has been omnipresent, immortal, clutch master, fragging when he's required. It's been way more of a team effort over on the G2 side, though. Many players pulling their weight. Mate, I don't even smoke, and I feel like I need a cigarette after this game. Meanwhile, Spinx has been caught by a HE and also a flashbang. See, this is the smoke. Those Jax is there, but Jax is too fast. And Nico mops up Snappy, who is thinking of peeking through Palace. Another engage that goes heftily in favor of G2.
Alexi, he spots Madden's foot, and before Madden's able to sneak his way into its connector, finding him. And one by one, they start to fall. Just 2 players remain. Diha, 28 kills. What more can this man do? And Hades, a rough day in office for him today, but it's still not quite done yet. He can redeem himself. He's got the AWP, his weapon of choice in his hands. Smoke and a flash to work with. Problem is, G2, apart from a few kills they got towards Ram, towards Palace, towards Connector, they haven't shown anything, and now Alexibi goes poking and prodding. He's like, where the hell are they? Want to find something. Nico finds Diha, now all on Hades. 1v5 looking unlikely, looking impossible. Alexibi strikes him down. And with that, G2 1 round away. They are map and match point, Vince, and ENCE have been absolutely slaughtered on this second half. They have done almost everything possible, thrown everything at G2, and G2 just don't blink. The individuals, just the heroics. And that previous round, that was as convincing as it can get from G2. There's no more 2v2s, no more 1v1s. G2 just shutting things down. And right now, and showing why Mirage is a map that they should absolutely be feared on.
They should indeed. Another stat for you. Only 2 rounds in this half have gone the way of ENCE, one of which was the pistol.
And the second one was the force buy.
Yes. So they've had chances. The force buy wars, as we coined it, has been thick and fast. And every single turn, every single opportunity, G2 have been in the ascendancy. But can they finish this one off? Are they going to apply the pressure and break ENCE once and for all and secure their spot in the legend stage?
Oh, here we go. Weaponry not that ideal for ENCE. Not even a solitary AK-47, just Galils for everyone apart from Hades on the Deagle. A lot of utility though to work with. And this time around, it's not going to be a fast play. And that's the thing from ENCE, right? Like almost all the runs we've seen from them on their force buys, it's just been this fast plays, just this full commitment, executes on towards A bomb site, or you're rushing in towards B. They don't really slow it down. And when they slow it down, we saw what happened the previous round, where it just got completely just picked apart one after the other. No trades taking place, and once more they're setting things up. But this feels like a ruse, Vince. Just a couple of players. You can see the bomb on the back of Madden slowly peeling towards B. They're grouping up here, and m0NESY, he lies in wait.
We haven't really seen any fakes from ENCE so far. This is one of the first times, but m0NESY nailing the first player has kind of given this one away, especially seeing 2. This feels like it may be a done deal. They still have one more player coming out, but it's Hades and now Madden, last man alive. The only thing working in the man's favor is that he has the bomb, but he has no more life. And neither do ENCE in this best of 3. G2 secure their spot in the legend stage.
Absolutely deserved. The desk painted it at the very beginning of the series that if G2 want to take this, they need to take it on Dust2 and Mirage, and they do it convincingly. In fact, they almost got it done 2-0 on Ancient, right? But it went to OT and pushed them to map number 3. But this second half has been G2. And let me tell you, ENCE are, listen, if you're ENCE, you look at the scoreline, you're looking at the scoreline, you're like, yeah, G2 completely dominated that game. They did not. That second half, ENCE, they got the bomb down 5 or 6 times on those force buys, and every single time G2 were able to pull off these miraculous clutches, this miraculous diffuses as well, and this could easily have spiraled out of control for G2. You know, you lose a couple of those rounds against the force buys, the economy breaks, and then ENCE can start mounting their own comeback and make things very close indeed. So, you know, shout out to ENCE for really putting up a fight over there, but G2 deserved wins. They were clutch individually. They're looking good. Alexibi on Mirage was a man possessed, and he had some great calls as well. So overall, G2 very, very deserving winners in this matchup.
Absolutely incredible match, Blair. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely spent. So we'll head back to the desk and
I need a
break
drink.
down that epic game.
Absolute elation for G2 as they seal out the grounds of Mirage. They are through to Legends. They join the 3-0 gang with the likes of Vitality and Pimp. I am so relieved that G2 closed that one out in convincing fashion.
They did it in style, right? That's a statement win right here, coming in for G2. We talked about them, we talked about their map pool, and I think we kind of were on track, you know, to what the story is for G2. They still struggle a little bit on Ancient. They still don't have the map pool that is going to make us believe that they can win the entire major, but now they get a couple of days off to work on that map pool. They're very strong on Dust2, they're very strong on Mirage, and G2, well, they look like G2, right? A team that can beat anyone on a good day, and still a team that can lose to anyone on a bad day. But today and so far throughout the major, they've been playing some decent Counter-Strike, I will say. It's good to see.
Definitely, definitely. And I think the thing that was really impressive about the way that they were able to do that was how resilient they were on the CT side. Some of those fast plays that ENCE were throwing out were very tough for those A defenders to deal with, but we saw some excellent clutches from the likes of people like Alexi B, and so some unlikely suspects stood up today for G2, and we even see Alexi B, I mean, top of the scoreboard right there. I mean, got to give the guy some props, because not only did he do that, but he also called a very solid T side on Mirage, and that's something that we wanted to see change from what we saw in the RMR.
Yeah, I really highlight that you highlight Alexi B in those final moments of Mirage. The fact that he was really coming out and putting some key frags on the board. That clutch as well, I believe we can bring it up and just break it down a little bit. That was absolutely incredible to witness. We were going absolutely electric in the green room as well. It was amazing to see from Alexi.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it wasn't the most well-played clutch, to be completely honest. He kind of let it slip right here. He didn't hardcore clear the Turtles, but the fact that he hits this shot you're about to see, right? Tap the bomb and then boom, in your face with a little bit of a tap. That is just nasty. So yeah, Alexi B to pull off a round like that, you know, that was part of the story as well. We had a m0NESY clutch, we had an Alexi B clutch, and G2, they had that individual flair and that individual skill that really made it look good on the server.
As soon as he doesn't really spot anybody when he kind of half clears
Yeah.
Tetris, yeah, I thought it was over there. I think his teammates probably thought, oh, if he doesn't find a kill by now, it's definitely over. But he's still able to pull it off. Pinpoint accuracy. Alexi B showing that he can do it as a player and as a caller. Very comprehensive performance from here to close out the series.
Talk to me about NiKo as well, because he was somebody that you highlighted coming into this map specifically.
Yeah, he's been struggling lately on Mirage. As I said, it's been his worst performing map, and it is kind of atypical for NiKo, who ever since 2015 when he was in Mouse, he's just been a menace on this map. I feel like if you want to watch one player and you want to watch one guy, how you constantly find impact and how you dominate teams on a map like Mirage, you would look towards NiKo. But the last 9 times he's played it, it's been a little bit up and down, but this time around, it was solid, it was good, and you see that, as I said, when you look at him mechanically speaking, he's definitely turning up to this major in a good shape.
Yeah, and I think that I want to just throw a lot of praise towards m0NESY as well. I think that he had some excellent shots in this one, found some openers for the team, and I think that really the clutches that he pulled off, the ones like the close rounds that he was able to pull over onto the side of G2 were instrumental in their victory in this, because he's a guy that can really just, when you have a guy that you believe in, and NiKo has needed a guy like this for so long in his career that he finally can watch and think, this guy can pull off things that I can pull off. I think it just uplifts the morale to a point where G2 simply were missing this in 2021.
Listen, Mauro, you talk about opening kills, and I was keeping track of that throughout all 3 maps, right? G2 dominated ENCE in that fashion of the game. We talked about Ancient. ENCE were able to win Ancient despite losing the opening duels 23 to 12. That is impressive in itself. Over the entire series, G2 won 57 opening duels, and ENCE only won 24. How are you supposed to win a game of Counter-Strike if you're 66% of the rounds basically are playing 4 against 5? You cannot, right? So credit to G2 as well as a team, but especially m0NESY, especially NiKo, Hunter for that matter as well, Alexi, all of them, right? They found a lot of success in the beginning of the rounds.
Well, speak of the devil, we do have NiKo ready to join us up here on the desk for the winners interview. If you want to invite him up, we've got a headset, especially for you, NiKo. First of all, huge congratulations, man. You make it through flawless fashion in that 3-0 gang. How are you feeling, first of all?
Hello, guys and girls. I feel good. Obviously, going 3-0 is it's good. It's very important we went 3-0. So I'm proud that we kept cool after Ancient. Even Ancient, I think towards the end we could have closed it out after this small comeback that we had done on T side. But overall, we did really good, and as I said, it's super important to go 3-0.
I want to roll it back just to the first map of this series. I know it probably feels like a lifetime ago, that Dust 2, because we heard from Alexi B yesterday after your game versus Spirit. You ended up sealing in that overtime, but it was, incredibly tough for you to get those T-sided rounds. He said he knew exactly what went wrong. He knew exactly what he wanted to improve coming into Dust 2 another time. So what do you think the biggest difference was from yesterday to today?
Well, obviously we watched the game and we immediately fixed the mistake that we could do, like when it comes to strats, but that was not the biggest problem that we have faced against, I don't even know who we played yesterday, but I think the biggest issue was just like our communication and wanting to close out the game too fast. Like we were up 14-4, and then like every round, if you get advantage, we try to hurry a bit, we try to rush some things, and we lose the advantage, then the game gets a bit closer, then you start to hesitate. So it was definitely not a good game by us on the second half, and we just discussed it and we made sure that it does not come to that situation again.
Nico, talking about you specifically, right? I made the point coming into Mirage that as of late, you've been struggling personally a little bit on the map. I feel like you've been, kind of like the go-to player when you want to watch a player be good at Mirage. Ever since Mouse Sports and ever since your day in those teams, Mirage has been your home ground. What is it that's been causing you problems as of late on Mirage personally for you?
Well, I feel like it became very hard to play on T side for me. I think in general, when I watch some other players in this role, like towards A, I feel like it became just very hard to play the map basically, because they always expect everyone knows that like you come after the group play, so it became very predictable. But on CT side is that I struggle as well, because I think we moved a lot of positions. Like I got used to in the old lineup to play with obviously with Nexa and with Amanek, so we knew we had a good chemistry. And now with Jax and m0NESY, it's a bit harder, and I have to micromanage much more and than what I had to do in the previous lineup. So I think that's one of the issues that I have had. But we had a good practice, and we have discussed, and we have some things set now, so it's much easier for me to play on the map. And I'm still feeling very confident on the.
Yeah,
on
you look good on the server today. You sense it's getting better game by game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just about the start. If I get off to a good start, then it's much easier to play on this map.
Okay.
Nico, I was kind of curious about what your guys' prep was for ENCE on Mirage. They're a team that constantly throws out a lot of plays from spawn, a lot of set pieces. I think they nailed you guys with A hit after A hit, maybe 70% of those rounds. How did you guys feel in that match versus what you thought that match was going to be like?
Honestly, I don't even think we did too much prep for Mirage. Obviously, the guys, Alexi and the coach, they watched them how they play, and Alexi just said on the halftime what we should watch out.
Mm-hmm.
But we knew that they play very explosive and that they have B rush, A rush, expo here, expo there. We knew what was coming to us, but I felt like they were just repeating to hit it because we kept shutting them down. So they thought like, okay, maybe we'll think they're gonna switch to B now. So they just kept repeating the A executes, and yeah, we were just ready for it all the time, and that's it. Jax did good. m0NESY did good. Then we did some gambles, like where we just leave m0NESY on B with top alone, and then we just play for A. If they do default, we just go for some info play if that happens. But they came A most of the time, so we didn't have to react that much.
Okay, what does it mean to you for having an opera like m0NESY now? Because he's a guy that we can't stop talking about, and he clearly delivered today, especially on Dust 2. What does it mean to just have that sort of reliable presence with the sniper?
It means a lot, but he unlocked himself 50%. Like what he does on practice is much more impactful than what he's doing in the games. I don't know, it's just a bit different. I mean, there is a pressure and everything, but he needs to unlock himself much more, and we are trying to help him to do that. But like when you see if he's off to a flashy start, like on Dust 2, like he's gonna hit all the shots, right? But if he's a bit getting caught off guard while moving or not doing the piece he likes to do, that happened against on Dust yesterday, for example. He was just doing one thing all the time, he was not taking any initiative. And when he gets to this game that he's playing more passive, then he just gets quiet and he's not going for any moves. And he's the player that you want him to move all the time and be this flashy upper, because if he's not flashy, not flashy, but
just explosive.
Exactly. That's the word.
I mean, a round that we definitely saw him unlock, so I want to throw it out just to get your opinion on it. Round number 7 that we saw on Mirage on the first half. This was absolutely incredible, the clutch coming out of m0NESY here. Could you kind of just walk me through what you were thinking in this moment, how the team reacted after you pulled it off?
Let me remember the round first. Okay. First of all, we just sent him on mid alone with up to peak, and we just explode on A. Honestly, I don't even remember the round.
I think you remember
this.
yeah.
This part.
Oh yeah, this is what I remember. But like he's very good in this. When he's alone versus 2 guys, 3 guys, I played this game my whole life, and I see new tricks from him all the time in clutches.
Okay.
Like the things he has in himself is, I don't know, but he's having some crazy. He's pulling off crazy things in clutches all the time. Like I always see some new angles that he's taking, the info plays that he gets but not dies. It's like it's crazy. So
would you say that you're learning from him? I mean, he's very young, and as you said, inexperienced. You played your entire life. Are you learning from watching this kid play?
yeah, definitely. As I said, like there's just some tricks that I don't know, I've never seen in my life, but he's just doing it all the time, and he's showing us, and we're just laughing. Like, how do you know this stuff? How do you come up with it? And yeah, it's crazy. He's just quite steps ahead of these youngsters.
Well, we do need to recap the results that we've seen so far. Day 2 of the PGL Antwerp Major. We can take a look at exactly what has gone down today. Nico, I'm sure you've been focusing just on your games mainly, but I mean, just taking a look at this, any surprises for you today?
Let me see.
Would you feel like it kind of played out how you imagined?
Okay, Liquid
Vitality
won. I
directly.
didn't follow Liquid because we played at the same
Yes.
time, so that's good for them.
New news for you, I guess.
Yeah, I think Vitality struggled a bit more than we have expected versus Force.
Did you have an opinion on the Renegades IHC series? Was that your 0-3?
Honestly, I didn't find Renegades that bad like
Yeah, okay.
before, but I don't know how. First of all, I don't know why everyone put them 0-3. I mean, now I see why, but didn't find it that bad. Really, like they're not that bad team. So
What about Inch? You just played against them. Do you consider Inch to be one of the favorites to still progress to the Legend stage?
for sure, I think they're a pretty solid team and they are pretty consistent nowadays. So I don't think they're gonna be facing too many issues unless they get unlucky with the bracket. But even with the bracket they get in, they're still the best team. They're the one who needs to lose the game, right? So they should be making it.
I'm curious to hear your perspective on B&E. Is that a team you guys have been practicing against, and is that a team that you consider to be a dark horse to qualify?
We haven't played them once in practice at all. I mean, when we played them in RMR on this last 2 game, it didn't we felt good. I think it was very easy to prepare for them as well.
Okay.
Maybe that's what some teams are lacking that are playing against them. But yeah, I mean, they won Imperial, and then they won the first game
Eternal Fire.
Eternal Fire, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Eternal Fire should have won that game, but
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like if I would have to choose one team to go through out of these, would probably be Eternal Fire over BNE.
Okay.
Same.
I'm curious to get your thoughts on Vitality there as well. Obviously, they're the team that are going to be joining you in that 3-0 spot as well. But you said, maybe you expected them to take it a bit more handedly over Force, or is it a case of maybe Force surprising you in terms of their performance?
Well, it's hard to say because Force on both, like RMR and here, they were winning against a bit lower opponents, right? And the first time they faced Vitality, they put up a good fight, while Vitality has the good 2 days right here. So maybe they're just good. Maybe they're just confident now and they're just rolling with it. And you never know. Maybe they'll just keep rolling and they will get to the next stage.
I just want to annoy you with one more question while we got you here, right? And I'm sorry for it, but I talked a lot about your map pool, and for you guys, I expect you to be a contender to go into the playoff, potentially even win the entire tournament. It's not a secret that Ancient has been a strugglesome map for you guys. Is that something you put focus on? Because winning a major with only having 4 good maps is not really possible. So are you feeling that Ancient is a work in progress, or are you ready to take on some of the best teams on that map?
I mean, we are ready on the map, but obviously the results are not there. It's always... I mean, we practiced a lot. Like, we knew after RMR that like our range is going to struggle, or that struggled already there. And we worked on it a lot on that and the Nuke, because Nuke we didn't play like for 2 events now. So it's the maps that we played a lot. But yeah, I don't feel like we played that bad on Ancient. I mean, Ents is a great team on Ancient. They are one of the best right now. And I think we had a chance of winning it. I think we should have a better CT side on this map than what we are showing right now. And that's what's costing us today's game and like the game against Astralis as well, I think.
Yep.
Well, of course, you are going to have a few days off as we head into that Legend stage, but there is plenty more Counter-Strike on the cards heading into tomorrow. Of course, 6 best of 3s going to be gracing our screens. We're going to be starting off with Astralis taking on Team Spirit on the A stream, Fours taking on Outsiders, and Ents taking on Bad News Eagles. I am particularly excited for that last matchup. Of course, all these teams that we're seeing on that particular matchup, they still have another chance of qualifying if they do lose out on that match.
I like the Fours Outsiders
Yeah?
matchup. I think that's a really interesting one because Outsiders is a team that's kind of been up and down lately, whereas Fours do seem like they're on the rise. So I think that's going to be a nice matchup there. I think a couple of those youngsters from Fours can really prove themselves against a team that has been to a major finals.
Instantly, what caught my eye right here: Complexity
Liquid.
taking on Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Right? Only one of those
Oh,
two
yeah.
teams is going to make it.
Oh.
Nico, what about you? How do you feel about that one? Complexity Liquid in a Counter-Strike right now? It's not in a good place, is it?
No, it's not. But I still feel like I need to take Liquid over Complexity.
Yeah?
I don't know. Just Complexity never showed up